filming.
Hey folks, I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful white doves for the chickpea, for the Krewe of Chickpea procession during Lundi Gras on Monday, okay? You are going to need 6 sheets of paper, of white paper. 3 of those sheets are going to be used to make the bird bones, which look like these, okay? 2 of them are going to be used to make the wings that look like this, and then 1 of them will be used to make the body. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of run you through how that would work. For the bones, it's a really easy process. You're basically just gonna put a pencil or a colored pencil or a straw even in the center of a piece of paper. You're gonna roll it. Common mistake to avoid is you don't want to make it too tight, because these are gonna need to bend during the actual bird flight, if you will. So you want to make sure that they kind of come out a little bit loose, okay? You also want to make sure that the pencil can come out. So you need it loose for both reasons, because it's gonna bend and because you need the pencil to come out. So that is how you make the bones. You need 3 of these for each bird. I already have my 3 pre-made. And then for the wings, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold the other 2 sheets together on the long edge, like so. And then you're going to draw or cut freehand if you feel comfortable doing that. You can freehand cut your wings. They are gonna want to be free all around. You're not gonna save any part of it, of this fold down here. So ultimately, you're gonna cut it all the way around. So don't worry about trying to save any of this fold. When you're done cutting this, it's gonna be 4 wings, because you folded 2 pieces of paper in half. So you're going to end up with 4 wings from the 2 pieces of paper. Once you have done that, then you can do the body as well. The body is going to be just 1 sheet of paper that you fold just like you did for the wings on the long edge. And then you're going to fold it again, so you end up with something like this. You want to put the fold at the bottom. For the bird, you are gonna want to salvage some of the fold. What I've been doing is I've been starting from the tail, because I find it easier to start that way, but obviously y'all will figure out what works for you. And again, if you're comfortable freehanding, you can just cut instead of drawing it first. An important thing is you want to cut 2 slices in the belly where the fold is, and you want them to go directly up. You don't want them to have any curve or anything like that, because that's how it's gonna connect to the bones. So ultimately, and I'm gonna be tedious and show you how I cut this, because I think it's helpful to see where we're keeping the fold. We're gonna keep the fold right here in the belly. Okay. And then you don't have to really keep the fold anywhere else. I've been keeping it a little bit at the top of the hunch of the back as well. But if you're making more than 1, you'll figure out what works out for you. Okay. When you're done cutting this bird, you should end up with, you're gonna cut the 2 slices where the belly is. I've been doing feathers, but you actually, you can make whatever bird shape strikes your fancy. I think that you don't have to go all out making feathers, but I did notice that other folks were doing that. When you fold out your bird, you should end up with something like this. 2 birds in the, whoa. I cut that wrong maybe. I think it'll still work, actually. Yeah, it will still work. You're gonna end up with 4 birds. You're gonna want to cut these slices so that you end up being able to utilize them later. So I'm gonna cut the slices in the middle so that you end up with like a little window. I just realized it doesn't really matter if the birds are facing each other or facing the other way. I was gonna say that you should end up with 2 birds facing each other in the center and 2 birds looking away in the sides, but it doesn't really matter, okay? So, because they're all gonna get glued together. That's gonna be your bird body. So now we have all our parts. I already have my stuff pre-made, so I'm gonna kind of show you how to assemble it. So you're going to want to take 2 of the bones or the straws, and you're gonna want to squeeze them together and tape them. I forgot to say, the materials you're gonna need for each bird is 6 pieces of paper, but you also need a lot of tape, ideally really smooth tape that you can easily cut, like my work tape dispenser there, which is really nice because with the little plastic ones, it's a struggle. You're gonna need a glue stick and a pencil. I find that a ruler comes in handy, and I'll show you in a second why. So what I did is I taped 2 of these straws together to make this kind of triangle. Then you're gonna take the 3rd one and you're gonna fold it in half. And this is where I've been kind of using the ruler to help me, just to fold. I just find that to be helpful. So now you have both V's, a big V and a small V. You're gonna put the big one inside of the small one and align it so it touches. I've been kind of just holding it like this and kind of flattening the edges like this so that it helps me to tape it easier. So now these parts are gonna, the mechanics of the bird, once it's done, these are the parts that have the most like wear and tear and the most important. So you wanna make sure that that is nice and taped together. Excuse me. So I'm taping the 2 V's together, the big one going inside of the little one, and it being pretty aligned. So that it touches when you go down, okay? Because what you're gonna want is you're gonna want this mechanism. Once you have that, you're going to glue the wings. You start by putting the outer wings where this, the V's meet. So where the small V, the edge of the small V at the bottom, that's where you're gonna wanna put the outer wing. Okay, I have been finding it pretty easy to first just put a piece of tape here and then go back and put glue on the straw, but you figure out what mechanics work for you. Obviously, you might figure out something better. The next wing actually goes right at the center. So that one is gonna go like this, okay? For this one, I have been just putting the glue first and then the tape. I would be doing this more carefully if I wasn't trying to save time for the video. You can be a lot more careful and like utilize the glue a lot, make it prettier or whatever. I have been making sure that I kind of don't just use glue for the wings and also kind of reinforce with tape at parts that I think might have wear and tear. So you're doing that for all 4 sides. Common mistakes to avoid, and I'm not trying to be micromanagey. It's literally because I saw myself and others make the mistake yesterday. Some of these mistakes yesterday when we were learning how to make these. You want the wings to both go in the same direction. Don't have one wing going that way, one wing going the other way. And you want the bird's body to be going in the right direction with the wings. I definitely put my wings heading one way and then the bird heading the other, so I had to like cut my bird body loose and reposition him yesterday with my first attempt. So Trying to do this really quickly in front of you so you can actually see the complete process and not really skip through it. But I do apologize, I don't know how to do like fast motion, or it's time lapse, so you're getting the long video. Okay, so the wings are all now facing the same direction. We've got the two outer wings that start where the V, the small V touches. Then the big one is at the center. Okay. I'm reinforcing my wing to make sure it doesn't just come loose once it's being used during the procession. Now for the body. You want to make sure that your flaps are open. This is a good time to check because you don't want to end up taping your bird and then find out you have to redo your little flaps. You are going to tape everything else together but the flaps. You're leaving the flaps blank because you're about to use them to connect the bird to the bones. But aside from that, you want everything to be glued together so that it's strong enough to hold. This bird body's got to be strong enough to hold while the bird is doing its little mechanics. If you ended up with like a pencil cutout drawing on one of your sides, you can be intentional about folding it in a way where it folds down on itself and hides the pencil marks or the colored pencil marks or the marker lines so that you have a plain white bird. For my first bird yesterday, I drew eyes and a beak on it, and I realized actually I don't even think that it was a good addition. I think it kind of took away more. The details don't show that much from a distance, and it made it so it didn't look uniform with the rest of the white dove. So I think that we're going for a plain white dove look, though I did hear people throwing out the idea of like drawing wings and things like that. We'll see. Obviously y'all have some creative liberty there. What I had done yesterday was obviously I did this, which is wrong. The bird cannot be going in the wrong direction, so that's a common mistake to avoid. And what I did is I opened up the little flaps. I put 2 to one side, 2 to the other. And now it's gonna go, the bird's gonna go right over the bones. Okay, with the 2 little flaps holding there where the wings connect. What I do at this point is I tape the flaps and reinforce them along the bone. Okay, like so. And I can go back and do it some more. I'm not gonna like show how much reinforcing I'm gonna actually do to this bird ultimately all on the video, but you want to make sure that that is nice and sturdy because it's the mechanism of the flight is gonna wear and tear on that. So you got the wings connected. The final thing that you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to reinforce the belly. Okay, so now now that I basically have everything done, but I want this bird to be more durable, so I'm going to tape this little flap that I use to move the bird and the belly. I'm gonna tape them, I'm gonna reinforce that like this to give it a sturdier belly so that when I am spazzing out during the procession, making my bird fly, and when we give them out to the public and watch them spread into the crowd, when people, make the bird fly, they don't have a bird that falls apart within the first few flaps. So now it is fully reinforced, and it is a completed bird. It should have the 2 outer wings, 2 inner wings, the body, everything reinforced, and you can see how the mechanism works. Yay! I think the goal was to make hundreds or 1,000 of them, but it's a very ambitious goal. So if you haven't been able to make some of the art builds, or you've been working during a lot of this stuff, this is something that you could do at home as long as you have white paper, glue. It can be also, squeeze it, little Elmer's glue. It doesn't have to be glue stick, and tape. So you should be good. All right.